Chelsea versus Manchester United. Again, I mean,
do we have to?
We can brief. We can touch on it. I mean, how important? I mean, it was important for Manchester United to climb back on the horse, wasn't it? After what happened on Monday, I didn't think. I mean, I know Andy's down on Chelsea, understandably, but I thought first half they weren't that bad.
Garnacho, I watched a lot of football over my 60-odd years of watching football, and even longer. That was one of the worst performances by a professional footballer I have ever seen in my life. He was indescribably terrible. Okay. Every time the ball went to him, the move broke down, or he just knocked it back. No responsibility. Yeah. I mean, whoever spent 40 million on him, really, if I wasted 40 million pounds of TalkSport's money, I'd expect to get the sack.
That's blimey. Okay, I don't think they'd let you anywhere near it, but that's not the point.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean, what was your take on the game, Henry?
Well, totally echo the views on Garnacho, and it's actually no surprise if you talk to fans of Manchester United, they could actually see what was happening. It's such a frustrating moment. Estevao on the other flank, he then goes and gets injured, and you just think, and it looks quite innocuous. He jarred his foot or his knee as he was running through, being chased by Shaw. So yeah, incredibly frustrating. But Garnacho, he really likes himself, rates himself as a player, but he's absolutely not putting in the performances. And in a Chelsea team which really needs one or two people to stand up and be counted, absolutely reflects issues in recruitment. You seem to either buy really well in Estevao, who's going to be a class player in years to come, or buy poorly with him. And there was so much sort of, in a way, good club promoted PR with interviews with Eghbali's talk in LA, positive around the club. And then that video the club put out of Caicedo's contract signing, which I have to say I've never seen before. It was slightly sort of novel approach. Ludicrous, absolutely. And it's interesting, former players, not necessarily the club, but saying, my God, that's a bit sort of gimmicky or whatever. But it looked like a club that was trying to get on the front foot in terms of PR, but really you do that with results, you do that with performances, and that was very, very damaging for manager as well as club.
Oh yeah, you can't lose as many games as he has, but I do think, somebody said to me, City paid the same money for Cherki and Semenya, basically, that Chelsea paid for Gittins and Garnacho. I mean, that says everything. How can these people keep their job? At what point did Chelsea look at these people and go, they've not done it. We need to get somebody in who knows what they're doing, who's much better than this.
We're going to keep having this conversation after every week of whether Michael Carrick gets the gig full time. I mean, if he gets Champions League football, do you think it's his, Henry, or is there still some doubt there?
But I think this season has all been defined by managers' safety in their positions is done by Champions League, because there's so much money. It can be touching £100 million if you go far into the Champions League. And Carrick, they were sixth when he came in, and they're third now. And then Rossini going in the other direction, that puts his job under more scrutiny. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm obviously biased around Michael. I spent a year helping him write his book, so I got a sort of close-up view of what a sort of meticulous, driven individual he is, how passionate he is about Manchester United. And the flip side of it is, who else is out there who will come in? They're not going to get Luis Enrique, who is clearly absolute elite level. Who are they going to get? And if at some point you want to start preparing for next season in terms of preparing the players who are there, but also signings, you can't wait until the end of the World Cup.